So this is how I find multiple thousands of products that are hidden within my competitor's storefront. And the best part is they don't even know about it. So how do you ethically spy on your competitor's storefront and finding your next bestseller, without clicking of hundreds of pages? Like, how do you do it? All right, let's be real here. The biggest myth in Amazon FBA, it seems like we need all these secret, lists that once you get this list, it'll magically boost you up to be successful. But in reality, the easiest way to get you to success is to figure out what your sub competitors are already selling. Like, we're all reselling here at Amazon FBA. We're not reinventing the wheel, but we just need our mind open up to see what's possible out there. So my Amazon FBA journey started in 2021, where I was doing it as a side hustle because I had a full-time job. I was selling a Range Rover down in Miami, but throughout that time, I was able to grow the business and selling over $2 million in total sales. And thankfully, that success had led me to leave my job and live my life according to my terms, where most days I get to work from home, I get to play tennis in the morning, and I can travel whenever I wanted, all thanks to a business that I can just run simply at a laptop or a computer. But to get here, I had to stop guessing. I had to figure out and think, how do these other big sellers do it? That was the $1 million question that I wanted to figure out. And I quickly realized, because I was spending tons of time, with these products that I'm trying to find, but I wasn't finding any success. But there has to be a better way. So this is where I discovered the X-ray method. And the X-ray method is basically just a way to get past the noise, all these different products, and basically get straight to it and figure out what exactly is the top sellers, so that way I can just focus my energy on finding those products. And if you think about it, it's literally the ultimate advantage, because you have that vision of what you need to do and you're not wasting any fluff and time with other things. And the metaphor here, it's kind of like when you use Google Maps or the Waze app when you go for a drive, it comes up with notification, whether that's a cop out there, there's an objects on the road, there may be a traffic jam. And you get the whole idea here is you get a heads up, you get that vision that, makes you alert of what's going on ahead. And that's the same thing here with Amazon. It's not you're just seeing a route, you're seeing hidden opportunities lay ahead in front of you. So this is why this method is so important. So this is the traditional old way on how to find products on people's storefronts. So we're here on Amazon.com, and you can pretty much find anywhere to get started, but I'll just walk you through, for example, right? So let's say the fall gear sports here, you want to get into golf, right? It doesn't matter what you pick, it could be a different category and stuff. I just wanted to show you a step-by-step so you can follow along, and you can see the contrast of the old method and the X-ray method, which we'll go over, because this old method is very tedious. And this is, imagine when I first started in 2021, what I was doing. And thankfully for this X-ray method, it just makes everything so much easier. So you want to go through any products here. So let's go through golf balls distance, for instance, right? So on the top part, these are sponsored, so you definitely don't want to click on that. They could be private label and stuff, because here we're focused mainly on reselling, whether that's wholesale or arbitrage. And so we want to look for name brand products, right? So we have like TaylorMade here, for example. We got Wilson. I'm not a golfer, I'm a tennis player, hence the US Open, but you guys can see some details here as well. Like, this one's bought 1,000 plus each month and stuff like that. This wasn't here before. Amazon updated this. Like, this one's 300 and stuff like that. But the problem here is it's still kind of scattered. It's not all in one place. You still kind of have to do a bit of, digging and stuff. So let's just click on this TaylorMade here, for example, sold 10,000 plus per month, okay? So then now we're on the product page right here. As we can see, this is being sold by Amazon.com. And what's the number one rule here if you are reselling? Do not compete with Amazon, because they get the lowest price. So obviously we're not gonna compete with this Amazon, but this is how we can get the process started, is we're gonna look at, other sellers that might be selling this, right? So let's scroll down. Okay, there's one seller here, Golf Superstore, okay? I might have an idea what they're selling. Is probably golf stuff, right? Hence their name. So we go ahead and click their storefront. It's right here. So you guys can see, visit their storefront, and this is what it will look like. You can see it has different products they have, and they have over 20 pages of products, right? So you want to go to part 2 and stuff. And this is how exactly what I was doing it back then, where I would have to click one by one these products to figure out if they're selling fast, you know, and is it a good brand and stuff. If you are with golf, you might know some stuff, but again, this doesn't have the data. Like this one's 50 plus, but what about the shoes? Like, you know, and stuff like that. But you know, deep down, like looking at this, you know, storefront, that they are killing it. And the question is, where are the products, or which products am I going to find here that I can use for my own store, that so that way I can, you know, make money on Amazon? That is the million-dollar question that we're trying to extract from here and use on the X-ray method. By the way, guys, I would appreciate it if you would hit the thumbs up button down below, because it really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to learn more about Amazon FBA, consider hitting the subscribe button. All right, guys, part 3 here is how to use the X-ray method, and you need only one software, which is Keepa. If you are new to the channel, Keepa is the #1 software you need as an Amazon seller. It's a must. If you don't get it, you will not succeed. Simple as that. And it's so powerful, and you know, I can't believe it only costs 20 bucks. It's not a plug or anything. It's not sponsored, but this data software needs to be worth more. I'd be more than happy to pay because it runs my business. So we are here at Keepa. If you don't have one, sign up. You're gonna find tons of value using it. So we're gonna go to data tab right here. And again, super easy to follow. That, you know, that's why it's designed here. We're gonna go to product finder, right? And this tool right here, let's go ahead and clear that, finds anything you could ever possibly think of. And it's so underutilized that even to this day, I'm still finding things about it. And this is how I stumbled upon the X-ray method. So let me show you how it was. Remember how these storefront right here, the Golf Pro Store, I forgot their name, they have tons of products, right? That's the story. But if you just copy their storefront number or ID, basically it's this right here. Whenever you see on the URL, you have the A after the equal sign, and you copy all the way before the end. Okay, so this right here, every storefront will have this. We're gonna do another example so you can follow along, but that's how you find the storefront number or ID for anyone. Then we're gonna copy that and we're gonna go down, okay? These are all the different settings. It can seem intimidating if you've never seen this before, but don't worry. That's why you're watching this video, to follow along step by step. So we're gonna go under seller IDs, okay? We're gonna go ahead and paste that. This is the person's seller ID, and we're gonna hit find products. So super easy to follow so far. And bam, as you guys can see right here, 2,938 products this storefront has. So imagine back then going one by one, traditional storefront method, when you can just hit one button and find everything on the product finder, right? And you guys can see the bought past month. This is the #1. You can even sort this. Let me sort through the top sellers, okay? Boom, okay, so this product here, 10,000. This here, 10,000, 8,000. I mean, everything's given to you right up front, and all the data, you can just scroll through it here, right? I mean, you still have tons of pages because they have a lot of products. So the next step you're gonna wanna do is you wanna trim the fat, right? We just wanna get to the good stuff, you know, the filet mignon, or, you know, the ribeye. I'm not a big steak guy, but, you know, throwing the fancy names out there. So how do we get there and trim the fat? So, well, we're gonna go back to the filter from the beginning. And one thing you guys will notice here, right, is the buy box seller. The buy box is basically the person that you see on the buy box. This is the buy box here. And guess who's in the buy box? Amazon, right? That's what we see here. And Keepa pretty much gives you all the buy box sellers. So again, remember, we don't want to compete with Amazon, so we're gonna get rid of them. That's how we're gonna trim the part of trimming the fat. Is the buy box here. We're gonna hit, actually Amazon out of stock, okay? So now look, it went from 2,000 something to like 1,200, okay? That's one filter that you must do. Let's go ahead and find products there. All right, so now it's a little bit more manageable, right? Now we can have an idea of what are top brands. I mean, Golf Pride right here, it's like a whole lineup. This might be a variation. They might have like, you know, different design, colors, whatever it may be. Now the best part is now you can just focus on finding these brands or products. So now you can start sourcing, just focusing on Golf Pride because you know at the back of your head, this brand sells. Or specifically, you can click the little Amazon logo and it'll bring you to the actual product itself. Yeah. So you can see its variation, right? The different grip size. Didn't mean to do that, you guys. But a different grip size in terms of that, the different packs. So that's why, these are kind of look similar here. And you can see who's the buy box seller. It looks like Pattern, some golf here and stuff like that. Sport Plus. It gives you an idea, right? So I want to give you another example because you can actually do this with multiple storefronts. That's the best part and the magic of this here. All right, so I want to give you another example. I just had search Lego here because Lego, there's a lot of more variety products, right? With the one we looked at, it was strictly golf. I didn't mean for the example to be that, but let's go ahead and click on Lego here. Legos. Or Lego. So Amazon again is common for this one, it looks like, but let's go ahead and other sellers, right? It seems like there might be other sellers here. Boom, here we go. So now you can play around here because there's a lot of sellers. So let's go ahead and look at this person, L.Y. Berdovich. I mean, they got 90,000. They're huge sellers, right? Like, I want to know what they're selling. Are they just selling Legos? Are they selling other things? Let's go ahead and click on their name. All right, remember, we're gonna copy their storefront. I don't need to go through every single product because I can see that with Keepa. Go ahead and copy that. Remember, it's after the equal sign and right before the end right there, okay? But if you have other softwares like, Seller Amp and stuff like that, it'll actually show you there. So let's go ahead and advance filter, okay? So, because I remember I told you can do this with multiple storefront. So let's go ahead and clear that. We're gonna scroll down to Seller ID. Where's Seller ID? Boom, right here. Let's go find another storefront. Let's do this one here. Twin Pines Trading, copy their storefronts. And you can add as many as you'd like, you guys. So you make sure you just add the comma there, add another one. Let's just do 3 for the example. Let's do this one here. So copy this one. Oh, forgot the 7. Boom, that should be good. All right, let's go ahead and paste that and we're gonna hit find products, okay? So now we just gotta sit and wait, let the data roll in and give it a few seconds here. There you go, we got 8,000 products between those 3 storefront. Now they could be everywhere, right? Like we got shoes here, we got, what is this? A football trading card and stuff like that. They're kind of hit or miss, right? You can even hit through here. Remember, I love this button because it shows you the top sellers, however you wanted to sort it. Right there, right? Then again, Amazon's there. Let's go ahead and get rid of it. Go back to Amazon, out of stock. You guys, this might take a little bit of practice, but you guys can see the pattern of how we do it. We're trying to make it easy on ourselves here. So, boom, right there. Mary Roots Liquid. I mean, it sells 20,000. I'm gonna want to sell it. Actually, the brand is selling it right there. Maybe I'll skip that. Skip that right here. Gillette. Let's go ahead and open that, see what's the deal with that one. Let me just X these out. All right, so I'm probably gonna wanna see if I can, where I can find this. I mean, selling for 34. Let's go ahead and copy and go to Google. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. I'm just here doing a quick, simple Google search, see if I can find it. It might be a wholesale play, but again, it seems like a lot of, make sure it's 52 counts, okay? They look like they're selling it on retail at like BJ's and Walmart here. Let me see if Walmart sells it or if it's a different seller. Okay, so it's a different seller here. So they might be getting this at wholesale, so I just gotta think of that. Let's go, maybe looking for a different product. So it seems like grocery and beauty seems to be a great seller for these here. And if you don't want to go for the big guys immediately, because it might be, again, mostly like a wholesale play, you can go the opposite, right? Like let's say less than 100. Okay, so now it's going to show up a smaller results, but again, it might be easier for us if you're doing, arbitrage, for example, where you can just find it possibly in the computer and stuff like that, right? All right, let's try this Hoka, for example. Seems interesting. We'll be able to find this one online, not eBay. The little Amazon logo. And guys, if you also want to see the price history, you can simply just click on the product. You can see the Keepa here, right? So it's consistently selling at like 189. This is the pink where I'm looking at right here, and the yellow is monthly sold, so 50 plus, 100 and stuff like that. So it's a good product for, you know, shoes. So let's go ahead and just do a Google search. All right, cool. We did a Google search here, and let's see if we can find it. Black Hoka 9 or Bondi 9 sneaker. But at least now my focus is on these products that sell. You know, I'm not wasting tons of sifting through whether they sell or not. I already know they do. Now I'm just doing a reverse search from their storefront to see, you know, where I can find it cheaper, right? So let's do this one here, Copper Fits. Yeah, this looks interesting. Let's look at the Keepa charts. Okay, Amazon was previously on it, and then just like a little spiked up. Okay, to 19. But let's go ahead and just take a look. Copy and paste this one. All right, Copper Fits. Let's look at their website. Let's look at Menards. Okay, cool. So if we sign up, we get 20%. I mean, it still seems expensive because it's $24.99 here. Each package contains one elbow compression sleeve. This one says 2 sleeves. Let's look at the reviews here just to make sure. So there's definitely 2 sleeves, and this size isn't even in there. So this is a large one, elbow freedom compression. I'd just like to copy this. Let's see if we can find keyword. Okay, this might be it here. So now basically what I'm doing is just to match the products, make sure it's the same. If I'm doing online arbitrage, because not all of them will have a UPC. So the thing here, it has like a little like honeycomb style. This one does not, even though the same name, as you can see here, elbow. Because the price is good on this, it's almost like half off. But it must be a reason, because it's not the same. One thing you can do as well, if there's a product itself, like let's find a different product, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Is you can, I guess we can go back to the Hoka, is you can do Google Lens. And what it'll do is basically, you know, does a search for you, but it'll be exact product rather than like a mismatch here, right? Like it doesn't have the product page itself here. I wish it did, like, you know, like this one, because I can just copy and search it with Google Lens, right? So that way, when I'm reverse searching, it's the same product, you know, higher chance of it rather than just like a mix match and I have to double check and stuff like this one right here, right? So that's the same product clearly. So that's another trick that you can use when you're doing reverse searching. But yeah, guys, just want to show you again what's possible out there using the X-ray method, because now you have the tool all in one click of having the best sellers right in front of you. And again, this is how I found thousands of products using my competitors without them knowing exactly what it is. So I like to follow big sellers because that gives me tons of idea and brands to look for. So hopefully you guys found tons of value in this video. And if you want to learn more about Amazon FBA, where I don't talk about it YouTube, make sure you sign up for my newsletter. It goes directly to your inbox, where I give you exclusive tips to help grow your Amazon FBA business. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you in the next one.